Hello there, boys and girls. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Sir Alex Ferguson save. And today we have us versus Chelsea, and then we play Spartak Moscow in the Champions League as well. We've been on a little bit of a run, and it's down to one man and one man only. It's down to this man here, Adolfo. He's come in just because Fetiarp is out of form, and as I said at the start of the season, we needed someone to come in if that happened and score some goals, and Adolfo has done it, and he's on an 8.4 for the Champions League, a 7.09 for the league, and overall a 7.25. And yeah, he's on absolute fire at the minute. Hopefully he'll have a good game against Chelsea today. You only bought him in for 11.75 million. He's got 5 goals in 10 appearances and a 7.09 overall. All in all, a fantastic player. And as you'll see from the schedule, since we last met against Watford and Middlesbrough, he has been on an absolute tear. Goal against Arsenal and our own goal from Mustafi winning that game 2-1. We actually went behind with Chalobah scoring from the penalty spot, but we came back and had a fantastic win there. He also then scored against Stoke with James Maddison popping up within the first 15 minutes, and that really did take the game away from the Potters. And all in all, a very, very professional win against Stoke. In the Champions League, he got a brace with Christoph Ayer scoring the third goal and another 3 points for our Champions League group, and also made us qualify for the next stage already. He then scored again against Leicester, and John Joe Shelby wrapping up the points from the penalty spot, and then he got another brace away from home at Selhurst Park, with James Maddison popping up from the penalty spot and Kramaric scoring the goal for Palace. This is how the league table looks. As I said, we are top of the league by 3 points. We beat Chelsea. We can go top by 6 points. Arsenal have got Brighton this week, and they can leapfrog Chelsea if there's a massive goal swing. Liverpool play Leicester away from home. So all in all, the top 4 or 5 are closing in into this first half of the season. As I said, after that becomes the winter break and the World Cup, and we will be back sometime in January for some big games. There we go then. Here's the lineup for the Chelsea game. We've got Rakitic in goal, Dodo, Ayer, Bocconi and Robertson on the back line. Maya and Teixeira in the middle of midfield. Embolo on the right, Marin on the left, so the 2 wingers back after their injury problems. Maddison in behind Adolfo. On the bench, we've got Van Zanten, Zagadou, Shelvey, Zakaria, Wilson, Gray and Fetiarp. Let's go and see if we can get 6 points clear in the Premier League. Highlight, Hazard whipping that ball in from the corner. Bentancur at the back post. Ayer gets that ball out, and Bolo tries to close down Chiesa, and he shoots just over. Very cagey affair, this one, in the first half between first and second team. And looks like we're going to see the half out at 0-0. Highlight from the corner, the only highlight in that first half, and say Newcastle a little bit on top with regards to shots, but nothing being shown. Yeah, Adolfo, the player that I've been bigging up at the start of this episode, not playing his best game, but hopefully in the second half we'll have a little bit more from him and the rest of the players. I'm just going to say, far from pleased what I've seen out there. Give it a little bit more in the second half. Malishev tries to get that ball clear, and he finds Chiesa. Lovely ball over the top from him to Alvaro Morata, and that's a great save by Rakitic, keeping us in this game early on in the second half. It's a corner. Hazard whips this ball in, trying to find Morata again, and he does, but Rakitic there to stop him again. We go from Rakivic's hands. Can we launch some sort of counter-attack? Adolfo over the top. Chelsea defenders asleep, goes for a shot, and high and wide from the Brazilian. 10 minutes into the second half, and Semedo finds Morata. Back to Semedo. Bentancur in the middle of midfield. Back to Rudiger, and we're pressing them well all the way back to Christensen. Hazard goes for goal, and Rakitic needs to be on hand to save, and Robertson gets that ball clear, but only as far as Semedo. Semedo again, 10 minutes to go. Dodo nips in and just launches that ball forward, and Rudiger brings it down and finds Christensen, finding the centre-back partners really easily. Rudiger again, but has to go back to Kepa. We've made all 3 changes. Hopefully these changes will make the difference. Christensen over the top to Morata, and Marin tries to nip in there, but Semedo gets there. João Felix, but Zakaria tackles and again goes long. That's a loose touch from Alvaro Morata. Marin into Fetiap, into Maddison. Can he score? Back to Zakaria. Oh, Kepa was off his line for a little bit, but couldn't get the shot away. 10 minutes to go still. 0-0. Probably the third best chance, really, for us to score. And that is it. 0-0 brings the game to an end, and we can stay 3 points clear ahead of Chelsea. A ball draw really to be there. Nothing really happened in this one, and no players played particularly well. Defenders getting the best ratings. Rudiger, player of the match, 7.4, tells you absolutely everything about this game. But we go on to Spartak Moscow, the last game before the winter break, before the World Cup. Let's see if we can round it off with a win. Here we go then, final game of the episode, final game of the first half of the season. And as you can look at the Champions League group, we and Porto are both through. Porto beat Milan 3-1 at the San Siro, so that puts them through. And it'll be between us and Porto to see who goes through as top of the group. Hopefully it will be us, because there's some big teams in the Champions League this year, and need an easier tie to get through to the next round of the Champions League. This is going to be the lineup that goes up against Spartak Moscow. All change after that game against Chelsea. We got Broughton in goal. Van Zanten, Zagadou, Bastoni and Bellew are the back line. Shelvey and Zakaria in the middle of midfield. Gray on the right, Wilson on the left. Maddison keeps his place in the middle, and then Fetiap up top. Hopefully he can score some goals and get back into some form for the second half of the season. Dodo, Paconi, Teixeira, Maya, Neres, Mbolo and Adolfo all on the bench. We'll say we're already through. Let's see if we can get 3 points and a win in our final game of the first half of the season. Maddison going to whip that ball into the back post. Zakaria is there. Bastoni's there, and it's 1-0 Newcastle. Alessandro Bastoni scoring his first goal of the season and gets us off to a great start. 6 minutes gone, and Maddison, really good ball deep into the penalty box. Zakaria just heads it back into the 6-yard box. Bastoni's there. 1-0 Newcastle. Van Zanten into Damari Gray. Fetiap's there, but he looks like he's been pulled back, and the referee's going to have a look at the VAR footage. It looked like a penalty to me. Let's see what happens. Kutupov is the culprit, and it will be a penalty. Yes, Kutupov felled Fetiap, and Art will step up. Will he score his first goal in a long time? One-on-one with the goalkeeper, Fetiap. He puts it away. 2-0 Newcastle within the first 10 minutes. His 7th goal of the season, and 3 points surely coming to Newcastle now. 10 minutes to go in this first half. Finds Zakaria and then Maddison, but has to go back out to Shelvey, and Shelvey's being forced back all the way to Zagadou. Lovely ball over the top, trying to find Harry Wilson, but the defender read it. But Wilson picks up that loose ball, back to Bellew, into Shelvey now, and we're keeping the ball nice and calm, nice and patient in the middle of the midfield. Maddison gets his turn on his man. Arp, lovely turn on his man, and goes for goal, and just wide from Fetiap. Bellew throws the ball in to Maddison. We're looking comfortable here against Spartak. Maddison again picking up the ball, finds Fetiap surrounded by Moscow players, and we go out to Shelvey. Shelvey out to Van Zanten, running down that right wing into the box, and Arp's there, but Selikov tried to launch the ball forward. Fetiap stood his ground. It rebounded off him, and he gets his second goal of the game. I was just about to say, Selikov came out and claimed pretty comfortably, to be fair. Arp was there challenging, and let's see it in 3D. Selikov, just tries to rush his kick. Arp's there, and it's 3-0 to Newcastle. 15 minutes to go, and we're on the attack again. Bellew at left back finds Zakaria through that little gap, and now he finds Neres, and he's driving down that left-hand side. Fetiap's there. He scores again. That's a hat-trick for Fetiap, and is he back in form just before the World Cup? 9th goal of the season for Fetiap. Great assist from David Neres. Zakaria down the line finds David Neres. He then just drives right round the right back. Good little flick from Fetiap, but good save. But Selikov falls back to him, and he just hammers it home. 4-0 Newcastle. Wilson back to Bellew, back to Wilson again. There's a switch over to Van Zanten. We haven't seen it yet. Now Neres finds him. Van Zanten, can he get a ball into the back post? Trying to find David Neres, and they get the ball clear. Ryan Fraser playing for Moscow. Bastoni picks up that ball and goes across to Zagadou. Zagadou now, just a short ball into Shelvey. Not doing anything too silly. Shelvey as that deep line playmaker, everything going through him today. Wilson on the ball into Zakaria, out to Davineris. Quick passing from Newcastle, trying to get the ball in. Damari Gray's there, hits the post, and they get the ball clear. We've been dominant here against Spartak. 25 shots on goal, and completely different to the Chelsea game, but we are going to be picking up a 4-0 win here at St James's Park against Spartak Moscow. And Betty Arp, hat-trick, 10 minutes, 54 minutes and 75 minutes, picking up a hat-trick, and Bastoni starting the scoring on the 7th minute. Everybody played really well in the reserve side, and a good win, boys. Well done. So this is how all the competitions look going into that World Cup and the winter break. We are 3 points clear of Chelsea at the top of the table, and 6 points clear of Liverpool, 7 points clear of Arsenal, and a massive 10 points clear of Manchester United. City in 8th and Spurs in 11th. Haven't started the season particularly well, but you never know. Second half of the season might be completely different. We're through to the next round of the Champions League. 13 points from 5 games. You have to go to Porto in the final game of the group, and we get a draw there, and we'll go through as group winners. We're out of the Carabao Cup, knocked out by Tottenham. Not too bothered about that, and we've won the Community Shield. Not too bad. Got a piece of silverware already at this stage of the season. Well, that's it for this episode. We will be back sometime in January, I reckon. And so we might do the City game and the Bournemouth game, or City and Liverpool. We'll decide when we get there. But that is it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed it, please do drop it a like. If you're new around here and you're enjoying everything you see, hit that subscribe button. Follow it up with the bell icon so you're notified every time a video lands in your sub boxes. And until next time, we'll be back in January and we'll see who's won the World Cup. I'll see you soon.